You know Erika Kirk? People are theorizing that there was an Erika Kirk before her.
What, like a clone?
She looks exactly like this other woman named Erika Kirk back in 1934. And
No.
her positioning is what's really weird.
Okay.
Because she's also connected to a very popular Republican, just like Charlie Kirk.
No.
But that image feels like it's from a completely different chapter compared to the polished public image most people connect with Erika today. These days, she's recognized for her bright blonde hair, eye-catching blue eyes, a picture-perfect smile, and a carefully styled appearance that always seems ready for the camera. Every detail appears thoughtfully put together to create a glamorous and refined look. But when this older yearbook-style photo recently started making the rounds online, many people were surprised. It showed a much simpler version of Erika, without the polished finish people have become used to seeing. Instead, the photo presents a natural, unfiltered moment that immediately sparked curiosity. Before we look closer at why this image has attracted so much attention, it's worth understanding how it all began. To understand why some online commentators believe Erika may be keeping parts of her earlier life private, we have to go back to the moment this photograph suddenly went viral. This wasn't just another old picture pulled from someone's past. According to those sharing it, the image dates back to 2007, during her time at Notre Dame Preparatory High School. That detail gave people more context and quickly fueled conversations across social media. What first looked like an ordinary school photo soon became the center of countless discussions.
A lot of people argued that Erika Kirk didn't look like she'd had any work done. I'm sorry, if you look at her pageant photos and you look at her now and you think that she hasn't had some kind of work done.
With people examining every detail and debating what it might reveal about her journey before she became a public figure. At first, plenty of people questioned whether the yearbook picture was even genuine. Some claimed it looked almost too clean, leading to suggestions that it had been digitally edited or even generated using artificial intelligence. Those doubts spread quickly online. But before long, other users began posting additional yearbook pages alongside the original image, arguing that it was authentic and showed a young Erika Fransby years before the public became familiar with her current appearance. As more people accepted that possibility, interest exploded. Viewers wanted to know how much had changed over the years and what story that old photograph really told. One of the biggest talking points was just how different Erika appeared compared to the image most people recognize today. Some viewers pointed to her darker-looking eyes, while others focused on features like her nose or the overall shape of her face. Many commented that she looked softer and more natural in the older picture, without the polished presentation often seen in recent public appearances. The glamorous pageant-inspired style many associate with her today simply wasn't there, making the contrast even more noticeable. Still, the feature that drew the most attention was undoubtedly her eyes, which have become one of the defining parts of her public image. Her vivid blue eyes have long been one of the first things people notice in photographs. But after comparing recent images with the older yearbook photo, some online users noticed that her eyes appeared much darker in the earlier picture. That observation quickly led to widespread speculation, with some wondering whether colored contact lenses could explain the difference. The discussion gained momentum across social media, and countless comments focused on her distinctive gaze. Despite all the online theories, Erika has never publicly confirmed or denied those claims, leaving the topic open to continued discussion among followers. None of these claims have been officially confirmed by Erika Kirk herself. However, some people who say they are familiar with the situation have claimed that her natural eye color is brown and that blue contact lenses have been part of her signature appearance for years. If accurate, that would explain why her bright blue eyes have become one of her most recognizable features in public photos and appearances.
I did talk about Erika's looks in my last video and some of the things about her having work done. A lot of people argued that Erika Kirk didn't look like she'd had any work done. I'm sorry, if you look at her pageant photos and you look at her now and you think that she hasn't had some kind of work done, then I think obviously the normalization of these procedures and people being blind to them is actually more serious than I even thought it was. I don't think that you can actually look at her pageant photos and then look at her now and think that there hasn't been something. I find it very ironic that people, and I think this is particularly women, who are very religious. You can have whatever religious belief you want, but if you're very religious, when you start surgically altering the body that God gave you, I think that feels a little hypocritical.
Even so, without direct confirmation from Erika herself, these remain claims shared by others rather than established facts. Her signature appearance has become a regular topic of discussion, especially among pageant followers and media commentators, where polished presentation is often expected. Many people point to her bright blue eyes, blonde hair, carefully defined facial features, and glamorous makeup as the elements that make her instantly recognizable. Together, these details create a refined, camera-ready look that feels carefully put together without appearing accidental. Whether people admire the style or simply find it interesting, there's no denying that her appearance leaves a lasting impression and helps her stand out wherever she is seen. Over time, that carefully maintained public image has shaped how many people view her. She presents herself as someone closely associated with Christian beliefs and patriotic values, while also projecting an elegant, polished sense of femininity. To many observers, the overall image conveys sophistication and confidence, giving the impression of someone comfortable in highly visible public settings. At the same time, there is still an element of mystery surrounding her personal story. Because she has shared only parts of her background publicly, many people have filled in the gaps with their own opinions and interpretations. As Erika stepped into an even more prominent leadership role following Charlie Kirk's passing, serving as CEO and chair of Turning Point USA, public attention naturally grew, bringing renewed interest in both her personal history and public image. That renewed attention gave older photographs an entirely different significance.
You know Erika Kirk? People are theorizing that there was an Erika Kirk before her.
What, like a clone?
She looks exactly like this other woman named Erika Kirk back in 1934. And
No.
her positioning is what's really weird.
Okay.
Because she's also connected to a very popular Republican, just like Charlie Kirk.
No.
People are saying it might be the same person.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it's-
it literally looks like the same person, right? This is what's really weird.
Yeah.
They used to call this Erika Kirk in 1934 Madame X.
Okay.
The reason they called her Madame X was because she appeared out of nowhere and she became very important.
Yeah.
Very similar to what happened
I didn't
with Erika Kirk.
I've
All of a
never
sudden,
heard.
She just appeared and she's very important, almost as if she was planted.
As vintage images resurfaced and spread rapidly across social media, countless users began placing them side by side with more recent photos. Those comparisons quickly sparked fresh conversations about how much her appearance may have changed over the years. Some online commentators pointed to what they believed were subtle differences in her nose, cheeks, lips, or jawline, while others suggested that changes in makeup techniques, lighting, camera quality, aging, or styling could easily account for the contrast. Without any public confirmation from Erika herself, those discussions remain opinions and observations rather than established facts. Even so, the comparisons continue to circulate widely, keeping curiosity about her evolving appearance firmly in the spotlight. Even the delicate skin around Erika's eyes has become another major topic of discussion among people comparing older photographs with more recent public appearances. In newer images, many viewers believe that area looks noticeably smoother and more refreshed than it did years ago. That observation alone has led to countless conversations across social media, beauty forums, and comment sections. Some people immediately point to cosmetic treatments as a possible explanation, while others argue that modern photography, professional lighting, updated makeup techniques, skincare routines, healthier habits, and even camera filters can dramatically change how someone looks on screen. The truth is that photographs rarely tell the complete story, especially when they capture someone years apart under completely different conditions. One important point often gets lost in these online debates. Erika herself has never publicly confirmed undergoing any significant cosmetic procedures. Despite the endless speculation, there has been no direct statement from her verifying many of the claims that continue circulating online. That distinction matters because there is a difference between public discussion and confirmed fact. As a result, much of what continues to spread across social media remains opinion rather than established information. That hasn't stopped beauty commentators from sharing their own professional observations. Some cosmetic specialists who have discussed publicly available photographs have suggested that subtle treatments, if someone chooses to have them, can create smoother-looking skin, soften facial lines, restore volume to the cheeks, or enhance facial symmetry without dramatically changing someone's overall appearance. Others are quick to remind viewers that professional makeup artists can achieve remarkably similar results using contouring, highlighting, carefully selected lighting, and camera angles. A single photograph can look completely different depending on the lens being used, the editing process afterward, and even the facial expression captured at that exact moment. That is exactly why comparisons between older and newer photographs often become so complicated. A yearbook photo taken nearly 2 decades ago isn't created under the same conditions as professionally photographed public appearances. School portraits typically use simple lighting, minimal editing, and natural styling. Public figures today, on the other hand, are often photographed by experienced professionals using high-end cameras, flattering lighting setups, carefully planned wardrobes, and makeup specifically designed for photography. When those two types of images are placed side by side, the differences can naturally appear much larger than they really are. Throughout this video, we've explored several of the features that have generated the most conversation online. Her eye color became one of the biggest talking points after older photographs appeared to show darker eyes than more recent images. That observation led to widespread discussions about whether colored contact lenses could explain the difference. While some people who claim familiarity with the situation have made that suggestion, Erika has never publicly confirmed those reports. Without confirmation from her, those claims remain exactly that claim shared by others. Her facial features also became part of the discussion. Some viewers believe her nose appears more refined today. Others think her cheeks look fuller than before, while some point to changes around her lips or jawline. Still others see very little difference at all and argue that normal aging, weight changes, makeup techniques, hairstyles, and photography explain nearly everything people are noticing. It's interesting how one set of photographs can lead to completely different conclusions depending on who is looking at them. That variety of opinions is probably one of the biggest reasons this story has continued gaining attention. Instead of everyone reaching the same conclusion, people continue examining every available image, comparing angles, expressions, lighting, hairstyles, and makeup choices. Every new comparison seems to create another wave of discussion, with each person noticing something slightly different from everyone else. Another reason this topic continues attracting attention is because Erika's public image has evolved alongside her growing visibility. As she became increasingly recognizable to a wider audience, her presentation naturally became more polished. That isn't unusual for public figures. Television appearances, professional photographs, public events, interviews, and media coverage often encourage a more refined presentation than someone might have had years earlier in high school or before entering public life. Over time, hairstyles change, fashion changes, makeup trends evolve, and personal preferences shift. Looking back over many years, it's common for almost anyone to appear noticeably different. Still, curiosity remains strong because people enjoy looking back at where public figures started before they became widely recognized. Old yearbook photos, childhood pictures, and early public appearances often reveal a much simpler version of someone that audiences rarely get to see. Those glimpses into the past naturally create interest because they show how much life can change over time. Whether someone sees a dramatic transformation or simply the normal progression that comes with growing older is ultimately a matter of personal opinion. Some viewers are convinced there have been significant changes. Others believe the differences are far smaller than online discussions suggest. Without direct confirmation regarding many of the claims that circulate online, there is no definitive answer to many of the questions people continue asking. That's why conversations surrounding these photographs have remained active instead of reaching a final conclusion. Perhaps the biggest takeaway from this entire story isn't about one specific feature at all. It's about how quickly a single old photograph can capture the internet's attention. What started as a resurfaced yearbook image soon became the subject of countless videos, side-by-side comparisons, social media posts, and online debates. One picture encouraged thousands of people to revisit Erika's earlier years and compare them with the public image they recognize today. That level of interest demonstrates just how closely public figures are examined once they enter the spotlight. It also serves as a reminder that appearances alone rarely tell the whole story. Images capture only a single moment in time, while real life includes years of personal growth, changing styles, different circumstances, improved photography, and evolving public presentation. Looking at one photograph without that broader context can easily lead to assumptions that may or may not reflect reality. No matter where you stand on the discussion, there's little doubt that Erika's appearance has become one of the most talked about aspects of her public profile. Every resurfaced photograph seems to generate another round of comparisons, fresh observations, and new opinions. Some discussions eventually fade away, but this one has continued because there is no universally accepted explanation for everything people believe they see. Now it's your turn to join the conversation. After looking at the older photos alongside her more recent public appearances, what stands out to you the most? Do you think the differences mainly come from changing hairstyles, makeup, lighting, photography, and the natural passage of time? Or do you believe there could be other factors involved? We'd love to hear your perspective, so share your thoughts in the comments below. As always, remember that respectful discussion makes these conversations far more interesting, especially when people bring different viewpoints to the table. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to see more stories that explore the details behind the headlines and the conversations everyone is having, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe so you don't miss future uploads, and share this video with friends who enjoy taking a closer look at the stories making waves online. Your support truly helps the channel continue bringing thoughtful discussions and fascinating topics to the screen. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.